All right, welcome back to Lumen Fit's 2 Minute Tuesdays, back by popular demand, or maybe just took a little bit of a holiday. So we went about a month without any 2 Minute Tuesdays. I needed a break from it after doing it for pretty much every week for the last 18 months, but we're back and hoping to bring you all new content as well as some tips and tricks week in, week out for 2 Minute Tuesdays. So let's get straight into it. Today's question comes from Sarah, and her question was really based around how important are macros in terms of body composition. So let's put 2 minutes on the clock and we'll see if we can nail this one out. All right, so when it comes to macros, in the big scheme of things, macros aren't really that important for body composition, especially if your goal is weight loss or fat loss. Why do I say that? Well, at the end of the day, it all comes down to calorie balance. So calories in versus calories out. If I want to lose body fat, I have to be in a deficit. Technically, it doesn't matter where those calories come from, period. If I'm on a high carb diet and I'm in a deficit, I'm going to lose weight. If I'm in a high fat or a ketogenic diet and I'm in a calorie deficit, then I'm going to lose weight. It doesn't matter where the deficit is, as long as there is a deficit. Now, where it does get a little bit complicated is in terms of satiety or a sense of fullness when it comes to food. Now, with proteins and green veggies, so green veggies I count as fiber, they're very satiating, so they keep you full for longer. So though most meats have more calories than say most carbs in terms of pastas, especially vegetables, they have more calories per gram on average. They keep you fuller for longer because of that satiety value. So when we look at the big scheme of things, are macros important in terms of body composition? Yes and no. In terms of being in a deficit, like I said, it doesn't matter where the deficit comes from. As long as there is a small deficit, you will lose body fat. Now, one thing you need to take home and remember is that not all weight loss comes from all fat. At the end of the day, you are going to lose some protein, you are going to lose some water weight. So this is where macros do become important. By upping my protein content or eating more protein in terms of macros, that creates more of a protein sparing environment. In other words, I'm going to hold on to the protein that I'm bringing in. Less muscle wastage or atrophy, even though in the big scheme of things, it's not really that relevant. Basically put, the more body fat your body has, the more your body will preferentially go through lipolysis or fat oxidation for use as a fuel. The leaner you are, the more your body will hold on to fat because fat is very calorically dense, and you'll use more protein or gluconeogenesis for creating energy when you're in a deficit. Now, coming back to energy deficits, the body will always utilize glucose first in terms of for energy, so carbohydrates first. When you no longer have glucose in the bloodstream or available for fuel, your body will switch to lipolysis or gluconeogenesis, so oxidation of fats and oxidation or usage of protein as a fuel substrate bit. So keep that in mind. Low carb, you're going to utilize more fats for fuel, but because you're generally going to bring in more fat, you're going to be more efficient at storing. And we'll touch more on that in terms of, that's called adaptive thermogenesis. So I hope this has helped. Key points to take home. It doesn't matter where the calories are coming from in terms of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. If you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. Now, that's a true deficit. So if you're in a true deficit, you will lose weight from fat, from protein, from water. Doesn't matter if all your calories come from fat, or protein, or carbohydrates. Just make sure you're in a deficit. All right, I hope this has helped. I hope you got a lot out of this. 2 Minute Tuesday's done and dusted, probably well and truly over 2 minutes for this one, but good to be back, and we'll see you next week for 2 Minute Tuesdays. Thank you.